Kuzangpo, you're watching Bhutan This Week, our weekly news magazine program with me, Dikil Hazom. These are our top stories this week. His Majesty the King appoints the Board of Directors for the Galu Mindfulness City. Bhutan can no longer rely on hydropower exports as a major source of foreign currency earnings. And BCTA directive mandates public buses traveling more than 8 hours to halt night. In a significant move, His Majesty the King has appointed Man Leong Liu as CEO to lead the groundbreaking Galu Mindfulness City. His Majesty, Chairman of the Board of Directors of the Mindfulness City, concurrently appointed Liu to the board alongside Joichi Itu, Yi Yan Pang, Siu Hyang Lee, Arun Kapoor and Lauren Chung. Further additions to the board are expected to be announced soon. His Majesty also named Joichi Ito as chairman of the Galu Investment Development Corporation.
With decades of global experience, the appointees, leaders in their fields, will work with Bhutanese peers and international partners to establish GMC as a beacon of mindful development. Man Leong Liu will lead the charge based on his extensive experience at the helm of international investment and development projects. As founding president and CEO of Capital Land Group, he grew the publicly listed company to a $12 billion market capitalization, making it Southeast Asia's largest real estate group. His leadership at Changi Airport Group saw the creation of the globally recognized jewel Changi Airport, among other developments. Joichi Ito has concurrently taken the role of chairman of the Galu Investment Development Corporation, GIDC. Ito will work with Bhutanese and international peers to facilitate investment and economic growth and development for enterprises in Galu Mindfulness City, other areas of Bhutan and globally. Ito is the president of Chiba Institute of Technology and previously served as the director of the Media Lab at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Yi Yan Pang joins the GMC Board of Directors with a strong investment track record in greenfield and infrastructure development across Asia with a $6 billion portfolio. The founder and director of Urbana Capital and former CEO of Surbana Jurong Capital and Director General of Operations at the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank is currently focused on social sustainability investments. His expertise will guide Galu's alignment with triple sustainability investment strategies, working to ensure economically, socially, and environmentally responsible development. Siu Hyang Lee, former CEO of Changi Airport Group, brings unmatched insights into urban development and international connectivity to the GMC board. Having overseen the rise of Changi Airport to global prominence, the transportation hub has been named the world's best airport multiple times. His deep understanding of the interplay between government and the private sector in the pursuit of infrastructure development and economic growth will be pivotal in ensuring Galu Mindfulness City's competitiveness as a regional economic hub. Arun Kapoor, who led the establishment of the Duke Gelpos Institute at Burro, contributes a deep understanding of training and education systems to the board. He will play a key role in upskilling Bhutanese talent to take leading roles in private and public institutions in the Mindfulness City. Prior to his work with Duke Gelpos Institute, Kapoor held leadership positions with some of the highest-ranked schools across India. Lauren Chung, Asia Pacific CEO of Teneo, a global CEO advisory firm, brings significant expertise in international relations and communications strategy to the GMC board. Lauren is a trusted advisor to corporate boards, CEOs, investors, governments, and civil society leaders, helping them achieve strategic goals while navigating high-stakes economic, geostrategic, regulatory, media, social, technological, and environmental change. She will provide guidance on the necessary communications infrastructure and skills development to support the city's global stakeholder engagement. The new appointees attended the opening session of the Bhutan Innovation Forum this morning in Paro. Pupkiem, BBS News.
Unveiling the master plan for Galu Mindfulness City at the Bhutan Innovation Forum, Björk Ingels, founding partner and creative director of BIC, said the city will become a gateway between the world and South Asia. Upon completion of the Galu International Airport, the Mindfulness City will be directly connected with 4 continents. The city's master plan encompasses railway links, a hydroelectric dam, and public spaces, all of which reflect Bhutan's commitment to a greener and sustainable future.
Presenting the designs and the architecture for the GMC, architect Björk Ingels highlighted that the city is poised to become a gateway between the world and South Asia, with direct international flights connecting the city and Bhutan with 4 continents. He also mentioned that a new airport is being built next to the current one over the next 5 years, offering enhanced accessibility.
Once it is open, it will have expanded the runway to be able to land the largest planes. Phase 1 will cater to 1.3 million passengers. And once expanded to phase 2, 5.5 million passengers per year, making it a veritable hub in the region.
He further added infrastructure and architecture in GMC will incorporate local building typologies inspired by Bhutan's cross-national happiness development philosophy, emphasizing well-being, health, education, and cultural diversity. The city will be built using locally sourced materials such as bamboo, timber, and river stones, combining tradition with modernity while cultivating resilient, self-sustaining communities. Björk further highlighted that the GMC has the potential to become the global capital of Vajrayana Buddhism, as the city's spiritual and cultural foundation will be deeply rooted in Bhutan's Vajrayana Buddhist traditions. This will invite people from around the world to come together to nurture compassion, kindness, and inner peace. Financially, GMC is expected to have a robust and transparent financial sector led by 3 core principles: clarity, co-creation, and customer friendliness. The core team also revealed that the plans are underway to introduce a new currency called TEV, which will be used across the Galu Mindfulness City.
So the idea for this new currency is to be based on the blockchain. So the blockchain is transparent, so you can see exactly where it is at any point. It's cheaper, and it's more efficient as well. So this new currency TEV will be backed fully by physical gold.
Additionally, Oro, a fully digital, full reserve global bank, will provide the city's banking services. The legal framework in GMC will follow Singapore's business-friendly laws to facilitate ease of doing business. On the legal front, the core team explained that the GMC's legal framework will be modeled after Singaporean law, which is grounded in international common law principles. It will also incorporate elements from other legal systems, including an independent judiciary. According to GMC Short-Term Development Master Plan, the Special Administrative Region is expected to grow into a small-scale world-class tourism, business and education destination between 2025 and 2035. From Dunkarzon in Paro Pambisa, this is Kinzang Hatin for BBS News.
Reliance Group and Druk Holding and Investments, the commercial arm of the government, have formed a strategic partnership to develop major solar and hydropower projects in Bhutan. This collaboration aims to boost Bhutan's green energy landscape with a 500 megawatt solar power plant and a 770 megawatt hydropower project. Reliance Infra Limited and DHI formalized the agreement on 2nd October at the Bhutan Innovation Forum in Paro in the presence of Prime Minister Sring Topke and Reliance Group Chairman Anil Ambani.
Thank you.
The
The partnership with the Anil Ambani-led Reliance Enterprises, a new flagship company, focuses on clean energy generation. The 500 megawatt solar power plant will be developed in the Galu Mindfulness City. The project will be executed in two phases of 250 megawatts each over the next 2 years. It is set to become Bhutan's largest solar installation.
I'm delighted that you are here, partnering with us towards a sustainable future. Partnering with us and with DHI to generate green, renewable energy using solar energy and our hydropower. And also congratulations for bringing Reliance Enterprises to Bhutan and setting up a separate entity to focus on our partnerships.
I wish the people of Bhutan, His Majesty the King, Honorable Prime Minister of Bhutan, and all colleagues great luck, great cooperation, great friendship, and may we continue to bloom as families between India and Bhutan.
The Reliance Enterprises and DHI will also undertake the 770 megawatt Chamkachu 1 hydropower project. The project will boost Bhutan's current energy capacity and further cement its reputation as a renewable energy leader in the region. Reliance Power Limited will hold a 49% stake in the venture, with DHI retaining 51%, ensuring Bhutan's leadership in the project. According to a joint news release, the initiative will represent one of the largest investments in Bhutan's renewable energy sector and the most significant foreign direct investment by an Indian company. From Pambisa in Paro, this is Pasung Doji for BBS News.
In a bold call for reform, Prime Minister Sring Tobgay, addressing the 79th United Nations General Assembly, urged for changes to the UN Security Council, calling it a relic of the past that must reflect modern geopolitical realities. The Prime Minister backed India and Japan's eligibility for permanent seats on the Security Council, citing their economic leadership and contributions to global peace and development.
Addressing the gathering of government heads from the UN member countries, Prime Minister Sring Tobgay said that the United Nations must evolve to meet the realities of today's world. Calling the UN Security Council a relic of the past, the Prime Minister said that the world needs a council that reflects the current geopolitical, economic landscape and social realities.
Bhutan has long advocated for the reform of the Security Council to make it more representative and effective.
The UN Security Council is a 15-member body responsible for maintaining international peace and security, with 5 permanent members holding veto power and 10 rotating non-permanent members.
India, with its significant economic growth and population and leadership of the Global South, deserves a permanent seat at the Security Council. Similarly, Japan, a leading donor and peace builder, warrants permanent membership.
The Prime Minister also addressed the challenges facing least developed countries, LDCs, noting that while Bhutan recently graduated from the LDC category, 46 nations remain. He called for intensified global efforts to help these countries achieve similar progress.
The international community must intensify its efforts to ensure that no nation is left behind, that all LDC countries achieve graduation. To accomplish this, we must address poverty, inequality, and vulnerability with a renewed sense of urgency.
While reflecting on Bhutan's successful LDC graduation, the Prime Minister focused on the need to sustain this progress by addressing youth unemployment and economic challenges. He highlighted the importance of international cooperation to ensure that no LDC nation is left behind. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Tshering Tobgay also introduced the Galu Mindfulness City as a sustainable urban space that fosters both human and environmental well-being. He invited thought leaders, innovators and investors to join Bhutan in building the city as a model of peace, harmony and progress that others can follow. Sharab Doji, BBS News.
Bhutan can no longer rely on hydropower exports as a major source of foreign currency earnings. The Finance Ministry projects that the country's net energy exports will decrease, potentially falling to around 950 million ytram by 2026. The ministry's latest quarterly macroeconomic situation report raises concern about how Bhutan can effectively meet its rising energy needs while increasing local energy production.
As of the end of June this year, the hydropower sector is expected to earn about 30 billion ytram, with 34% of this coming from domestic sales. With both exports and domestic sales anticipated to rise, the new estimate reflects an increase of over 2 billion ytram from the third quarter projections. However, while sales from hydropower are set to increase due to higher production, domestic electricity demand is also growing. The report states that although revenue may rise initially, it is projected to be lower in the medium term compared to earlier estimates, as more energy will be used domestically, limiting the amount available for export. Bhutan imports electricity during the winter months, which is considered a lean season, and the import cost is expected to exceed 8 billion ytram this year, representing a significant 200% increase compared to last year. Even with the commissioning of the Punachangchu 2 hydroelectric project, electricity imports during the lean season are expected to rise. Earlier this week, the management of the Punachangchu 2 hydroelectric project announced that the commissioning of PHPA2 is now scheduled for the second quarter of next year due to a water seepage problem. Samtin Dolkar, BBS News.
The tourism industry has revised its annual targets for tourist arrivals this year and next year to 150,000 and 250,000 respectively. This represents a reduction of 50,000 for each year compared to the initial target. The revision was highlighted in the Ministry of Finance Macroeconomic Situation Report for the fourth quarter.
According to the report, the revision is based on the actual number of tourists who have visited the country so far.
As of June, the country welcomed over 75,600 tourists, marking a 47% increase compared to the same period last year. The report states that around 69% of tourists came from India, while the remaining 31% arrived from countries other than India. The country expects to see around 75,000 more tourists during the peak tourist season before the year ends. To boost the tourism sector, the government has announced the allocation of 2 billion ytram from its 15 billion ytram economic stimulus program. The budget will be used to strengthen the sector's resilience and support its recovery efforts.
Earlier this year, the government unveiled plans to host promotional events such as Bhutan Festival Week in major Indian cities and Bangkok to further attract tourists.
The Ministry of Industry, Commerce and Employment has also announced efforts to make travel to Bhutan more accessible, including potential airfare subsidies. Additionally, the ministry is implementing capacity-building initiatives aimed at upskilling tour guides, hotel staff, and other tourism-related personnel to enhance the overall visitor experience.
The ministry has set a goal to generate over 2.5 billion ytram in annual revenue. Last year, the country's tourism sector achieved a record annual revenue with the Sustainable Development Fee alone exceeding 2 billion ytram. With camera person Phuptashi, Karmasuptan Wonda, BBS News.
Starting this month, passenger buses traveling more than 8 hours continuously will be required to halt the night. This is following a recent directive by the Bhutan Construction and Transport Authority. The move, aimed at improving passenger safety, is expected to address concerns over long driving hours and challenges in monitoring bus operations.
It is 5:30 in the morning at the Lungtenzampa bus stop in Thimphu. The passenger bus traveling from Thimphu to Linsi travels more than 400 kilometers in a day to reach the destination. Similarly, several other passenger buses traveling to the east are completing their journey in a single day without a night halt. The passenger buses travel from Thimphu to Linsi, Tashigang, Tashiansi, Mongar and Samrupjonkar among others. Currently, there are 8 routes in the country requiring more than 8 hours of continuous driving a day. 11 public transport buses ply on these routes as of now. However, the situation will change from the 1st of October as the Bhutan Construction and Transport Authority issued a notification last month after meeting with bus operators. According to the BCTA, challenges in monitoring, speeding, and risks of accidents due to drivers' fatigue from the long journey are some of the reasons for the change. For now, each bus requires 2 drivers to switch driving on the way. However, the BCTA cited cases of drivers and bus operators not adhering to the requirement. The Department of Labor, local leaders from a few districts, and drivers also raised concerns in the past regarding the single-day journey and extra working hours. Some of the commuters said the new initiative will improve passengers' safety, while a few others shared mixed reactions.
We start by 6 a.m. and reach there by 9 or 10 p.m. We reach there in a day, which is not safe for passengers as the bus speeds up to get there in a day. Therefore, it is safer if the travel duration is stretched to 2 days.
2 days
A 2-day journey is better than a day's journey because urgency will be there every time, but we need to plan ahead. There is no issue if nothing happens, but in case an accident occurs, it is not just about a single passenger. Many will be affected. We need to prioritize our safety. Risks are lowered with a 2-day journey. That way, we don't have to be anxious when we travel.
The direct buses are convenient for us as some cannot afford extra expenditure if we have to halt a night in Phenseling. Moreover, people will face difficulties with no places to stay.
I think both have their pros and cons. Direct buses are beneficial for those who have urgent work. On the other hand, if the journey is for 2 days, it ensures the safety of people, although it is time-consuming.
As a bus driver, we have to drive whether it is a day or 2-day journey. However, I prefer the direct bus as it incurs less expenses for passengers. If the journey is stretched to 2 days, it is extra expenditure as most passengers are from villages.
Sources said some bus operators have appealed to the government requesting to reconsider the decision. The BCTA officials said the Infrastructure and Transport Ministry is looking into the matter. Devika Pradhan for BBS News.
That is all we have for this week. Thank you for watching.